Brexit Vocabulary. Brexit. What is Boris Johnson's plan to avoid a hard Irish border? So they keep telling us about a hard border, una frontera dura, no? Brexit duro, right? So what is this idea of a hard border? No, es una frontera dura, digamos. It says, in the context of Brexit, a hard border means one where there are a limited number of authorised and physically controlled crossing points staffed by customs officers and police, supported in times of tension by military forces. Drivers of vehicles crossing are required to declare goods in carriage. Commercial barriers must produce bills of lading and evidence of goods. En fin, que habrá mucho papeleo, mucha burocracia y será difícil de cruzar de Irlanda, la República de Irlanda, a Irlanda del Norte, ¿no? Esa es la idea de una frontera dura, a hard border. Boris Johnson has outlined his plan to the European Union to avoid a hard border between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland after Brexit. Mr. Johnson said the plan removes the so-called backstop. Pues, ¿qué es eso del Irish Backstop? El backstop es una idea básicamente de un plan de contingencia de lo que se haría si saliese mañana sin acuerdo el Reino Unido de la Unión Europea. Pues dice aquí, the Irish backstop is a familiar name given to a draft agreement between the UK and the EU that aims to prevent a hard border in Ireland. ¿Vale? La idea es prevenir eso de una frontera dura donde sería muy difícil, habría muchas tramas burocráticas para pasar mercancías de la Unión Europea a el Reino Unido y viceversa. Y pues eso, la idea que su nombre oficial es Northern Ireland Protocol, is a standalone treaty appended to the proposed Brexit withdrawal agreement, enabling the United Kingdom to leave the European Union with the least disruption possible. The backstop aims to prevent the hard border by keeping Northern Ireland in some aspects of the single market. Pues entonces es como que dejáramos un poco a Irlanda del Norte seguir en el acuerdo con el mercado común de la Unión Europea, mientras se siguiese negociando cómo lo haríamos con el resto del Reino Unido a partir de el Brexit, ¿no? Más o menos es lo que entiendo yo. The backstop is the insurance policy negotiated by Theresa May and the EU. It is designed to avoid any physical border infrastructure, which, it is feared, would bring back memories of the Troubles after Brexit. So, the Troubles was an ethno-nationalist conflict in Northern Ireland during the late 20th century, also known internationally as the Northern Ireland Conflict. It is sometimes described as an irregular war, a low-level war. The conflict began in the late 1960s and is usually deemed to have ended with the Good Friday Agreement of 1998. Although the Troubles primarily took place in Northern Ireland, at times the violence spilled over into the Republic of Ireland, England, and mainland Europe. Sí, bueno, es el nombre que le damos, o sea, The Troubles, literalmente traducido, es algo así como los disturbios, los problemas, digamos, muy británico, así, los problemas, las cosas desagradables que pasaron. Eso, vamos, se refiere al conflicto sobre todo en Irlanda del Norte, a finales del siglo XX, con el terrorismo del IRA y la violencia sectaria, bueno, de ambos bandos en esa zona. Y ya, no hay más que comentar. It would keep the UK in the same customs territory as the EU. Por cierto, me acabo de dar cuenta que no para de salir esa palabra customs. Customs se refiere a la aduana, ¿no? After passport control, you need to pass through customs, ¿no? Vale, donde se revisan todas las cosas. En una frontera, pues eso, cuando pasa la mercancía, pues tiene que pasar por customs, la aduana. Keep the UK in the same customs territory as the EU, and Northern Ireland closely tied to the EU regulations until the UK and the EU reach a trade deal. Trade deal is something we talk a lot about when we're talking about Brexit, ¿no? Salen muchas noticias. A trade deal es un acuerdo comercial, nada más. Trade, comercio, commerce, international trade has been increasing over the last few years. That's good to know. There you go. But it would stop the UK striking its own trade deals. So, striking a trade deal, maybe from the context you can understand it, but strike, esta es una palabra que tiene muchísimos significados, como veis, huelga, vamos, golpear, ¿no? To strike something, habéis visto seguramente en el béisbol, ¿no? Strike one, strike two, strike three, dar en el blanco, golpear, estrellar contra algo. Pero bueno, eso es figurativo. Cuando hablamos de striking a deal, queremos decir como lograr un acuerdo, sin más, ¿vale? Es una expresión que no tiene una traducción exacta.
But it would stop the UK striking its own trade deals, which is why so many Conservative MPs, including Mr Johnson, oppose the backstop. So what is the alternative? Customs Union. The government wants the UK to leave the EU Customs Union. This would mean Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland ending up in two different customs territories. This means lorries entering the Republic of Ireland from Northern Ireland will need to complete customs declarations. This is to ensure the correct tariffs, tax on imports.
Tax is another word that I see a lot of people getting confused. So tax es un impuesto, ¿no? The government needs to raise taxes. Tiene que aumentar los impuestos. No, ya está, sin más. Hay mucha gente que se le olvida esa palabra. No sé por qué. Como tasas. Impuestos.
Tariffs, tax on imports, are paid when UK goods enter the EU Customs Union. Customs checks. Instead of installing customs posts and other physical infrastructure at the Irish border, the UK says declarations should be done electronically. The government says physical checks would still be needed on a very small proportion of movements. Currently, about 1 in 100 consignments entering the EU Customs Union are inspected to check that the goods match the information on the declaration. These inspections could be carried out at warehouses.
A warehouse is a building where you store things. So warehouse, bueno, desde luego aquí en España se le llama un almacén, ¿no? Uno de esos almacenes enormes donde se guardan mercancías, es a lo que se refiere aquí, ¿no? Once they were finished, goods from the factory were taken to the warehouse for storage. Y ahí veis la traducción. Pasa.
Could be carried out at warehouses or designated locations which could be located anywhere in Ireland or Northern Ireland. The government's proposal does not spell out what these designated locations would look like, but it adds there should be a firm commitment by both parties.
Commitments, esa es una palabra que me encanta a mí. When it says it's like a promise, he made a commitment to stay at the job for another year. Bueno, es cuando das tu palabra, das una promesa. A mí me parece que la mejor traducción es compromiso, ¿no? Cuando tienes compromiso con alguien, un compromiso, dedication. Her strong commitment to women's rights made her determined to continue. Se oye esta palabra mucho, commitment, cuando se habla de la política, ¿no? Que hay falta de compromiso, hay lo que sea, ¿no? Sin especificar todo, muy vago el lenguaje, pero bueno.
Locations would look like, but it adds there should be a firm commitment by both parties never to conduct checks at the border in future. If adopted, a border solution relying on technology and remote checks would be a first. The EU does not currently share a single border with a non-EU country where checks have been completely eliminated. That includes Norway, not in the EU, and Sweden, an EU member, which share one of the most technologically advanced borders in the world. Their main crossing point processes about 1,300 lorries a day, with each waiting 20 minutes on average. The EU has previously rejected a customs solution that relies on technology. Back in January, Sabine Weyand, the EU's Director General for Trade, said, "We looked at every border on this earth, every border the EU has with a third country. There's simply no way you can do away with checks and controls."
Vale, pues lo que dijo la tipa esa, ¿no? Do away with something. To do away with es como deshacerse de algo, ¿no? Deshacerse en este caso de los checks and controls, las revisiones que hay ahí en la frontera, lo ve imposible, vaya por Dios, una burócrata que ve las cosas imposibles. ¿Quién se lo creería?
The government says that some small traders should be exempt from paying duty.
Paying duty a veces es otro sinónimo de la palabra tax, ¿no? Impuestos. Si os fijáis en los aeropuertos, siempre tienen una sección duty free, ¿no? Las mercancías, bueno, los productos que compras en el aeropuerto frecuentemente son duty free, es que son libres de impuestos. Entonces, bueno, es sinónimo de tax, de impuestos, duty.
Exempt from paying duty. However, the document does not address smuggling head-on.
Smuggling, esa es otra palabra interesante. Illicitly carrying goods. Smuggling is only profitable as long as you don't get caught. Es la idea de llevar contrabando, ¿no? De traficar, ¿no? Smuggle viene del verbo smuggle, deal in contraband goods. Traficar, contrabandear, matutear. Ben has been smuggling for years now and he's never been caught. Well done, Ben.
Does not address smuggling head-on. In other words, what will be done to detect and prevent traders, who should be paying duty, from crossing the border without completing custom declarations first?
Smuggling photos, eh? Your pants should sit on your waist, on your natural waist. Pants should not be too tight. The break should cover the tops. Your shoes, parts of the laces. Pigeon should not be visible. Beer smuggling level. Beerito. Yeah, I've seen that one before. That's a good one. I don't know how he didn't get away with it. What's going on there? Fuck.